Alright, hey guys, how's it going? So, this video is a little different. I'm going to talk about what's going on with my life, if any of you care. What's been going on with me and my spiritual journey, my shadow work, my life. I just want to give an update, because I feel like with some of the stuff I'm going through, whether it's good or bad, I feel like you guys can relate. That's why you relate to my pick of cards. So I might pull some cards too. I am debating. At the end, I might do like a collective rating. So we'll see. But I want to talk about the decks that I use, which decks I really like, and what decks I recommend. So I have a lot of decks, actually. Let's see how many I have. Okay, I have 15. I have 15 decks. But I know some tarot readers only like their certain decks, and that's what they work with. But you guys, for me, getting a new deck is like the most exciting thing in the world. So I feel like by the end of next year, I'm just going to own way too many decks. Oh, this is my Palo Santo, if you guys are wondering. I really like it. I used to burn white sage a lot, which I like that, but I don't know. I feel like this is just easier, and I'm liking the smell more, and I'm not getting like little pieces of white sage everywhere, which is awesome. Okay, so let's start first with my life update. Oh, this year's been crazy. I'm sure it has for all of you, but it's been good. It's honestly been really good for me. It's been up and down, but when I look at it as a whole, I'm really happy with how everything has gone so far. And I'm sorry if I sound a little stuffed up. I am still recovering from a cold. I had a really bad cold the past few days, and then last week I had a really intense stomach ache. Well, I wouldn't say it was a stomach ache, but I really couldn't eat any food. So if I ate too much food, I got really sick. It's not COVID. I got tested. But anyways, I still wanted to make content. So here I am, a little stuffy, ready to go. Oh, also, you guys, I have been uploading daily messages on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, give me a follow. Every day I do like a general message. Sometimes I do love messages. But I've been really enjoying that platform so far. So if you want more content, I need to move this candle because I feel like the smoke is going right in front of the lens. Okay, back to my life update, sorry. So earlier this year, I fell in love with this guy. And it was kind of crazy. I met him the year before. I met him in 2019 in Costa Rica at an ayahuasca retreat. And oh my gosh, right away I was so, I wouldn't say attracted to him. I was just so magnetized towards him. It was a really intense, beautiful feeling. So we became friends. He lived in London. I was in LA. We would FaceTime maybe once or twice a month and just catch up. And he was really helping me on my spiritual journey. He was more advanced in his spiritual journey. He was really good at helping people. So he was really helping me go through all the shadow work and all of the work I started to do on myself to try to bring in more peace and everything that I wanted in my life and more healing. So then finally, after 3 months of talking to him, I just fell for him. I fell head over heels for him. And he wasn't making a move. So I just told him. I was so scared, but I told him how I felt. And he's like, I feel the same way. Why don't you come out to London? He bought my plane ticket. We went to London. We traveled to Japan. This is right before the pandemic. Okay, guys, this is right before the pandemic. I was so scared to go see him because I was like, what am I doing getting on a plane, driving to see this guy I barely know, right? But I went. It was amazing. And I'm so glad that I went when I did, you guys, because if we would have waited, we were going to wait till March. Okay. We went in February. If we waited till March, it wouldn't have happened because that's when all the pandemic stuff started to happen, especially in the States where I live in LA. It was crazy. So I am so thankful that we got to connect and just fall for each other, and we started our relationship then. So after that, I go back to LA, and I realize I'm just not happy in LA anymore. And I want to be with him, right? And he is actually from Australia. So he moved from London to Australia. And I'm like, all right, I am going to get my money stuff in order because I was in debt at the time. I didn't like my job. I was just craving something more. And he really pushed me to start my tarot business, right? So, sorry I'm going back kind of far, but I just wanted to give you an update of what I'm trying to do now. I am trying to move to Australia. but we're separated from the pandemic, and it's been freaking hard because it's almost 9 months since I've seen him. And long distance isn't that much fun. So that's been really hard on me. And I'm not here to like get your sympathy or anything like that. I just want to tell you what's going on with my life. So right now I'm patiently waiting because, you guys, I freaking did it. I paid off my debt. I have some extra money saved. I can actually afford to go fly out there right now. And it's so funny because in the springtime, I was so nervous that like I wouldn't have money saved up or my debt paid off. Like that was my main concern by the time I could go out there. And now it's like, oh, I have all that done, but the pandemic is keeping me from seeing him because Australia has really strict rules. For those of you that are out there, you're not letting anybody in. I get it, but it sucks. So anyways, I decided when I was in LA, I wanted to move back to Michigan because I'm like, hey, I should spend time with my family before I go to Australia because I didn't know when that would be. And Australia is really far from the States. So I moved in with my parents. My parents love me, and they were like, really excited for me to move in. They weren't like, oh gosh, Megan's moving back in, you know, they were really excited, which I'm really blessed to have that. So I lived with them for it was like 4 or 5 months, and then I was like, okay, that's all I can handle. I love them, but that's all I can handle. You guys know what I mean. So now I'm living with my brother, his wife, and his kid. They have an extra room, so I was like, hey, Roar, can I come stay with you? He's like, yeah. It'll be fun. So I've stayed here for a little bit. I don't know where I'm off to next. We'll see. I might have to get my own place. I was hoping you guys to be in Australia at this point. So I'm just trying to trust and surrender and know that everything's working out exactly where it's supposed to be. And yeah, what else is new with me? Oh, recently I found out I'm a medium, which has been kind of crazy and awesome, but really overwhelming because I mean, channeling people that have died, I really didn't know what it would be like. And it's more subtle and more, I guess, challenging than I thought it would be, but also more rewarding than I realized it would be. So that's been a really cool experience. I'm still practicing my gift in that. I did reach out to a lot of you on Instagram that wanted me to channel your deceased loved ones, and I got a huge response, which I'm still working through that list. But it's awesome. As far as shadow work, for me going on right now, and maybe you guys can relate to this for your own life, 2020 has really taught me, even though a lot has happened, it's really teaching me to slow down. Really to go slow. Slow down. Stay in the present moment. I've really had a hard time ever since I was a kid. I always wanted to rush through things, even when I didn't need to. Even right now, I feel like I'm kind of rushing through this video. I have this kind of habit of wanting to get to the destination and hurrying through life, and it brings me some anxiety, right? Because when you're living in the future, you're trying to rush to get there, you get anxious. And so Spirit, my guides, universe is really working with me to slow down. And I am slower. I am slowing down more, but I realize that this is a process. You know, this is an ongoing learning thing for me. It's not like, oh, I learned how to slow down. Okay, next challenge. This is a habit I've had since I was really little. And I know why. I've done some shadow work, I've done some meditations, and I know where this stems from. It stems from a lot of things that I went through, a lot of traumatizing things I went through as a child. And now, since, you know, I really want to get to Australia, it still kind of puts me in that mode of hurry, because I'm like, I just want to get there, I want to be with my man. And it's like, Spirit's like, no, we're teaching you how to connect with your present self, right? How to slow down, how to enjoy each moment, and how to breathe. That's what I'm learning mostly. 2020 is the year of just breathing and slowing down. And it's funny because over New Year's, I went to a New Year's Eve, so it would have been the end of 2019. I went to this meditation event by myself. I just wanted to do something different because I've heard that the way you start the new year can be a theme for the rest of the year, right? So I went to this meditation and it was so peaceful and so calming, and I really feel like that's coming into my life now, but there's been a lot of work, a lot of letting go, a lot of new realizations, new beliefs. It's been a journey. So I think you guys know this. I try to be really honest on my channel and open about what I'm going through. I try without giving everything away because I think it's important to like keep some stuff for yourself, for your sanity, but, you know, when you listen to pick a cards and you find tarot readers or spiritual leaders, we go through a lot, just like you guys do. I'm still healing all the time. I'm still working on myself. Shadow work is a continuous thing for me because while I'm transmuting my own energy, I'm helping you guys transmute your energy. And it's a lot, especially when you're an empath and you just feel everything. I'm not complaining. I love doing this work. I love it. This is something that I've finally found something that I love doing. You know, I'm 34 now. I had to think about that for a minute. I'm 34. I spent my life in so many different jobs. I mean, I went to school for marketing. You know, I worked at restaurants. I went to school for hair and cosmetology. So I worked at salons. I worked in TV production, you know, for a couple years. So I did behind the scenes stuff. I worked in nanny jobs. Like I did Lyft and Postmates. I mean, I've done a lot. I was always wandering around and I don't regret any of it. I loved every bit of it. But this, I freaking love. Okay. Is there anything else I want to share about my life? So I'd say overall, I guess I'm kind of just talking about my year in 2020. It was awesome, right? Because I found my soul's purpose. I connected with my soulmate. I started a business. There's so many blessings, but it was also challenging, right? It's hard to start a business. It was hard to start a YouTube channel and just put myself out there like this. This isn't easy for me. Even now, I still get a little nervous doing this, you guys. I love it, but I still get nervous. So this year really pushed me out of my comfort zone. So you know when I talk a lot about getting out of your comfort zone, it's because I am doing it all the time and I see how rewarding it is and how much it helps me. So whenever I'm like, guys, do something that scares you, do something that makes you uncomfortable, it's because I'm always doing that, but I'm always being rewarded every single time. So I'm sorry if I talk about it too much, but it's been such a theme for this year for me. So I feel like right now, and for me, a huge part of my healing was building my confidence and my self-esteem and my self-worth. And when we get out of our comfort zone, we push ourselves, you know, that builds that. It builds that character, it builds that confidence, right? So we can make a YouTube channel or speak our truth and not be ashamed, you know. Shame is such a strong energy that I see still within me, you know, in my own energy field, but within a lot of you and a lot of my clients. We're shameful. We're shameful of what we believe in. We're shameful of what we've done. We're shameful about this or that, or we're embarrassed, whatever word you want to use. I see that energy so prominent, and I love transmuting that energy. I love being like, bye. I love myself. Like, for me, the most exciting thing about seeing certain people and why I'm so attracted to them, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or whatever in life, if they're really confident and really in love with themselves, I love that. I get inspired. I get excited. Okay, now I'm going on a tangent. But anyways, this year's been really good, but it's been really hard. It's been a hell of a roller coaster. So that's a little life update for me. I'm just trying to build my business, trying to share as much content as I can for you guys, get my little butt to Australia, continue to do my shadow work, and continue to trust that there will be places for me to live. So, yeah, now that we got into all of that, let's talk about the decks that I use. I love all of my decks so much, and let's talk about the first deck I ever got, which was actually an Oracle deck that I got years ago. This is before I started even reading cards. I don't even remember why I bought this deck. I know I bought it at a store, but I don't know the reason why. I don't know. It was like 5 years ago. Was this Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. And if any of you are trying to learn tarot, or, you know, you want to start, I recommend starting with an Oracle deck. I think it just helps. It's a little bit easier because to learn tarot takes some time. So when I had this deck, I found pick a card readings at the end of 2019. I had no idea they existed. I was like, well, this is a whole new world for me. So a few months after I'm watching these, I was hanging out with my friends. Well, it was my friend and her friend, so I didn't know them very well. And I was telling them about all the spiritual content I was invested in, because it would just come up in all of my conversations, right? And that I've been watching these card readings, and that I have Oracle cards, and they're like, oh, you should pull cards for us. And I was like, okay. So I got out this deck, and I couldn't believe the messages that came out that just resonated so much with them. They were so freaked out, and that was my first sign that was probably something I should be doing. So anyways, these cards, I just love them. They have a god, I have a goddess on each one. So this one says Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. So these messages are really easy to understand. It came with a guidebook too. I think all of my decks came with guidebooks actually, which help further the message. So if you're not sure exactly what that means, you can read more about it. But the images are really powerful and they're just really beautiful. So again, I'll put these down in the description box too if you guys want to check them out. I'll try to attach a link too if I can find like a link to Amazon where you can buy them. So Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. So this deck's very special to me. I really like it. I still use it all the time. Alright, let's talk about my first tarot deck I got. So a lot of you will ask me, you know, Megan, what tarot deck should I start with? And when I first started reading tarot, I'd already bought my deck. But when I was looking on like educational videos on YouTube of how to learn, everybody was saying, oh, you need to start with the Rider-Waite Tarot. You need to start with the traditional Rider-Waite. I was like, oh man, I already bought a tarot deck. This isn't good. Oh no. And then I was like, no, you know what? This is the tarot deck I was supposed to buy. I'm going to go with it. And I think if any of you want to buy a deck, you need to buy the deck with the images that you like the most. That's it. Like, you're going to be working with this artwork all the time. So find the deck where you like the images the best and go with that one. Okay, I still do that with oracle cards. Whenever I really feel connected to the images or the artwork, I'm like, yes, that's the deck that I want. Okay, so the first deck I got, and I love this deck, the Wild Unknown Tarot. This was the first one I got. And it's very contemporary, which is what I liked about it. You know, the images are very modern. There's a lot of animals. This is the butterfly. Like, okay, so for instance, it's named a little bit differently. So instead of the King of Pentacles, it'll say the Father of Pentacles. And the pentacle energy comes through as a deer. The wands come through as snakes. The cups come through ducks or swans. Yeah, I guess they're swans. This is the Mother of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. And then the Daughter of Swords. So swords energy is owls. And I love this. And then look at like the Magician as a leopard. So I really like connecting with the animal energy. And the other thing I like about this deck is I realized as I started reading tarot that I like to connect with people and their relationships with their families. So when something comes up, like say the Mother of Cups comes up in reverse, to me that means there's some sort of like habit someone picked up from their mother that they're in the process of letting go. And that's not something I learned from anybody. That's just something I intuitively picked up over time. And it really resonated with me because I really like helping people bring awareness to people of different energies that they've picked up or different relationships that they need to heal with their family. I think that's just such a big part in our journey. And this card's really helped me connect. So this is the Wild Unknown. Okay, let's talk about this tarot deck. So I only have 3 tarot decks, and then all of them are oracle decks. So I have lots of oracle decks. But this one was gifted to me. This is the Light Seers Tarot. I think this is a newer deck. I don't think it's been around that long. I could be wrong. But it's really beautiful. This is the back of the card. And these images, they're very contemporary as well. So, I mean, you can tell by the art. Look how pretty this is. This is the Hermit. So this one I love using. Like this and the Wild Unknown I use the most. Because I like the more contemporary images. Some people like the more classic images, the old school. It's whatever you like, right? But this is one of my favorites. And they're so colorful too, which I love that. Alright, let's talk about another oracle deck I got. So this is one of the first decks I got, actually. Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. I love this one. Can you tell? I'm really attached to all of my decks. Like, I love this one. But I do like this because it's really beautiful images. This one says Angel of Emergence. It is time for the real you to emerge. So these messages are really clear. They're really easy to understand. Angel of new life, an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. And this is the back of the card, and it just has an angel, and they're nice and big, and they're really sturdy. Here's another one, Goddess of Psychic Protection. So I definitely recommend this one if you're first starting out too, because it's so easy to read. Or even if you're just not trying to read and you just want to have a deck for yourself to pull once in a while, that's a really good deck just to have if you just want to pull a card like once or twice a day for yourself. This one I haven't had too long. This one is by Brittany Carmichael. It's called the Shine deck. And I love this. It's so pretty. I mean, it's a very all like pastel color. So this is the back of the deck. Pretty pinks and purples and blues. And really positive. This is a really positive deck. It says step out of your comfort zone and try something new. Let's see. Like this one's fun. It says unleash your inner wild child, get up and dance. And then you are pure magic. So these are just really affirming, positive cards. There's some cards in here where they talk about like feng shui, a lot of images of crystals, journaling, write down your thoughts, treat yourself with gifts. So this is another nice one to have, even if you just want one for yourself. And they're really pretty and really contemporary. All right, let's talk about my crystal deck. So this is the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck. I really like this crystal deck. It just has so many different crystals. And then the guidebook. It comes with the guidebook. So I think, like I said, all of my decks come with guidebooks, but this one I especially need it for. So it'll tell you not just like, oh, you should work with this crystal, but just the message that it gives you. So I'll do one for example. Let's do one. I don't use these a ton, just because most of the time I have to refer to the guidebook. So I just pull them out on occasion, or if I feel like a certain group would work well with crystals, I'll work with them. Okay. So, for instance, Spessartine Garnet. I do not have this crystal. I don't own this one, but let's see what it says in the book. Maybe it'll be a nice little message for us to hear. Okay, so it'll start off by saying the essential meaning. So the essential meaning is charm, charisma, shining and sparkling, being a brilliant beacon of confidence that inspires others. Okay, so it says every one of us is a being of light meant to shine and sparkle. Your light draws others to you, for we all see the light. The message of Spessartine Garnet Spirit is to embrace your natural charm and magnetism. Do you think you're not all that special? If so, that is only because you haven't discovered your natural charisma and expressed it. The conscious universe wants you to let it shine out, for your dazzling brilliance will be a beacon for others as you walk the healing path toward discovering your destiny. You can attract those who will help you and those who will benefit from all that you have to share, your talents, your love, your joy. We are so lucky to have you here on this planet right now. Feel your magnetism today. Express it, shine your light in all your glory, inspiring others, and let yourself draw on whatever will help you on your journey. See, so it's like so beautiful, all these messages. They're so encouraging. And this is what it's saying. It's saying you have a bright light. You have a lot to share. You have gifts, so share them. Like, get out of your comfort zone, right? Because it can be hard to speak our truth sometimes, or to like start reading tarot or start our energy healing business or whatever we're trying to do. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be so rewarding. And people need your energy. And then it also has a relationship message, a prosperity message, and then it has a crystal spirit meditation. So it does this for every single... I feel like I'm trying to like sell you guys these. Like, I don't profit off of this, but I just like it. So it's the Crystal Spirit Oracle. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? This one I was gifted as well. If you guys want to donate to my channel, I have my Amazon wish list down below. I have so many more decks I want, so if you're feeling generous and you like my content, it's been helping you, that's the best way. I mean, you can donate money too, which is great, but I love getting Oracle and Tarot decks in the mail. It's like, it just makes me so excited. So this one is, I was gifted this one, and I love it. It's Oracle of the Seven Energies. This one is so beautiful to me. I use it all the time. Let me show you some. It's really easy to shuffle. Yeah, look how pretty these are. The land between. And some of these are easy to understand, some of them not. You kind of have to work with the guidebook, if you're new at least. See in perfect harmony. Look how pretty this is. Roots of abundance. So the images are just gorgeous. They're very magical to me. This deck is just very magical looking. So I highly recommend this one. And then, yeah, it has the whole guidebook here. So if you're not sure what it means, like, it'll say the key concepts of what the card means, and then it'll go into detail after that. And it always just has really beautiful, inspiring messages. So highly recommend that one. I love it. I use it all the time. This one I like too. I use it a lot, actually. It's Wisdom of the House of Night. So these images are a little bit darker. They're good for shadow work. Some of them, they're a little harder to understand. But I mean, this one's easy, right? It says message. Trapped. But I think they're really pretty. They're just black and gold color. So they're kind of darker looking. Choices. But I do use this one a lot, actually. Oh, I love this card. Summon. Whenever I get this card, I always feel like whoever I'm working with, or if I'm doing a pick a card, I'm like, you are manifesting what you want in this life. Things are coming into fruition. What you're thinking about is happening, even if you don't see it. And I love that card. I get excited. So that's the Wisdom of the House of Night. This is what the box looks like. Sorry, my throat's like getting scratchy. I probably shouldn't be filming yet because I'm still getting over a cold. But I decided to anyways. Okay. This one. This one was gifted to me too. This is the Quantum Oracle. And I like the back of these cards. They're really trippy looking. And yeah, these are pretty basic messages. I feel like these are pretty easy to understand. Like this one says loss, peace, right? This one's victim mentality, the loving woman. So I would recommend this if you're just starting to read. This is a good oracle deck to first start working with because it talks about like almost every kind of energy, I feel like. You know, like playing it safe, your higher self. So this one is a good starter one for sure. And I use it a lot, I do. Okay. Oh, this one was gifted to me too, actually by my neighbor. It's mini, it's really small, and I don't know what the name of it is because she didn't have the box with it. And I don't really know what they mean. I only use them once in a while, but they all have numbers. See, this one looks like a castle, like a tower. If you guys know what this deck is, will you please comment down below so I can figure it out? Because I have no idea. There's a little horse. So these ones are kind of hard to interpret. I mean, this is more like advanced stuff because there isn't a book with it. Or maybe there is, but I just didn't get the book when she gave it to me. Not my favorite deck. I use it once in a while, but I just don't, the images are kind of very old school looking, and I don't always resonate with that kind of imagery. Okay. Oh, this is the other tarot deck I use. I like this one, but this is definitely not recommended for beginners because it is different than the traditional tarot. This is the Vice Versa Tarot. I bought this one, I don't know, like 4 months ago, and I really like it. The images are gorgeous. And what's different about this one is there's 2 sides. So I don't read these in reverse because if I were to read these in reverse, each card would have 4 meanings, which is insane. It's just like too much. So I just read, so if it comes this way or this way. And what I like about it is usually, so when the King of Pentacles, right, comes through, if it comes and it shows the back of him, it usually means more internal work going within versus it's showing his front. It's more projected outwards. So learning these cards took a while for me, but I do like to work with them. I just think they're so pretty. See, this is the Two of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Moon card. So definitely if you're more advanced along your journey, you can work with them right away, but I wouldn't have wanted to on my journey. I think it would have been too much. Okay, what else? This is one of my first decks too. This is a nice one. Energy Oracle. Okay, so the back's really pretty. Looks like a jewel. And these are they're pretty self-explanatory. These are pretty easy to read, and I really like the images. Like this is the Sun card. Adjacent possibilities. They also have all the different chakras. So this is the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. And what's nice about this oracle card too, or deck, which some of my decks do this, they show what it means in the guidebook, upright or in the reverse. So they'll give you extra meanings. So like the door to value, right? If this comes upright, that means money's coming in. If it comes in the reverse, it means, okay, be careful with your money right now, and there's a delay, or maybe there's a money blockage or something like that. See, door to personal healing and happiness. And you don't have to read cards in the reverse, especially when you're first like starting out. And even now, sometimes I don't. If I don't feel like it, I just go with what I feel like, honestly. Because you have to use your intuition. You have to use your gut and what feels best for you, you know? All right, I need to end this video soon because my throat's starting to be like, stop talking. But I only have 3 more decks. Okay. This one I like. The quality of these cards isn't the best, but I really like the messages and the images, and it's Magik of You Oracle. This is really good for shadow work, this deck. Look, it says opulence, time to lead. And I just love the images are kind of darker, but they're so pretty. I love them. Let's see what else. Like this one, they're so crazy looking and kind of creepy. But this really helps me when I'm working with a client and there's like shadow work being had. I just think it brings a lot of light to that specific area of your healing. Okay. And I got this fairy deck. Fairy Guidance Oracle. I was actually at the store and I was trying to buy another Oracle deck when I first started reading. And this deck, I wasn't going to buy it, but it kept flying off the shelf. It literally kept just falling and flying. And I kept picking it up, and I was like, okay, is this a sign? I just bought it. I'm just going to buy this one. And I like it because it's really simple, and each card just has one word, like choice. And at the bottom it says, you're in control of the choices that you set. Sorry, I have like ash on my hands. It's from the Palo Santo. It's kind of messy. So it says choice, spirit, prosperity, right? Courage. They're very to the point. And they just have these beautiful little fairies on them. So I usually will add this into a reading. I'll just grab a couple cards from here and it'll just help kind of bring all the other cards together or help confirm. So that's a nice beginner one too. I worked with that one a lot when I was learning. And then one more. I think we did all of them except the last one, which I just got. This is brand new and it's really pretty. The Lantern Oracle. I was just randomly searching on Amazon, and I never heard of it before. The bag, it's this really pretty red color. And the artwork is so gorgeous on this. Look at this. It says sharing. There is giving and receiving and giving. I just pulled these cards for you guys on Instagram if you follow me on my story. If you requested one, I pulled a specific card for you. Oh, I haven't seen this image. This is so pretty. Trusting tricksters. The trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw. I mean, look how gorgeous these images are. I love them. So this is a Lantern Oracle. This is brand new, so I just started working with this one, so I don't have a ton to say about it, but... Ooh, I haven't seen this one either. Wishful expectations. Acknowledge the smoke and mirrors in your life for what they are. Look at how pretty that is. Hope you guys can see it okay. But yeah, they're just, I mean, look at this. That's just so powerful. I really want to make my own oracle deck. I'm actually kind of trying to work on one right now for you guys to sell one. I'm not an artist though, so I'm trying to like figure out how to do it on my own without working with an artist. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want me to do another video about like my life update, or if you have questions about my life, I don't mind sharing. I'm pretty much an open book for the most part, so let me know down below any, even if you guys have certain ideas or suggestions for pick cards or content you want to see. I'm always open, and I love hearing, you know, what you guys want to see, what you guys want to know. So I'm going to have to end the video now because my throat's leaving me, but thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time.